Hey everyone, Ryan here. So today is going to be a bit of a different video because today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite, if not, it is my favorite, anime. Now, you might be wondering, so Ryan, you're going to talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? And to answer that, my goblins, no. In fact, I will be talking about an anime called Angel Beats. Now, the story and plot are, on the surface level, quite simple. It's about a guy who had died and gone into purgatory. From there, he meets up with a girl with a sniper who tells him about the world he is in. He also tells him that in this world, they can't die, and that there is this person they call Angel. She tells him that Angel is actually evil. Of course, the guy doesn't believe her and just thinks that they're playing a prank on him. So he goes to talk to Angel and asks her to prove that they can't die. Angel stabs him in the heart. Of course, this is just the surface level of the story and plot. As you go on watching, it becomes apparent that the real reason they are there is so that they can have the good life that they were never able to have because of what happened to them when they were alive. It's a story about moving on and becoming at peace with your previous actions. Now, I won't go into too much detail about the story because when I watched it, I didn't know anything about the show. I just thought that it was some boring high school setting like any other school anime. So I thought that it's best that you go into this anime with the least knowledge about it as you can. So if you don't want to be spoiled, then you may want to click off of this video. If you aren't sitting down, then you may need to take a seat for this one, because it's a long and sad one. Please note that I won't be going through every character, because I just don't think I'll have the time for that. I'll just be going over two of the more sad ones. All the characters lived very upsetting and very, if I'm being honest, depressing lives. The first girl the main character meets eventually tells him about her life. Her name is Yuri Nakamura. Growing up, she was the oldest. She had 2 sisters and 1 brother. One day when she was 10, her parents left her in charge when they went out for personal business. As they were gone, some robbers broke into the house. They tied up the kids and told Yuri to go around the house and find anything that looked expensive. The robbers said that every 10 minutes they would execute one of the siblings if she couldn't find anything. Frantically running around the house, Yuri looked at the clock and saw what time it was. She grabbed the biggest and most expensive looking pot that they had in the house and ran down the stairs. She tripped and fell, and the pot broke. The next thing she saw was the bodies of her siblings on the floor, and the robbers were gone. Quote, "I lost everything in only 30 minutes. Yuri Nakamura." The next person I will be talking about is Misumi Iwasawa. She was the lead guitarist and vocalist in Girl Dead Monster, a band that was made for using as a distraction for the Afterlife Battlefront, the organization that they formed to fight Angel and, quote, defy God. When she was growing up, she lived in a very toxic family environment. Her mother and father were always fighting, both physically and verbally. She was always in a corner crying and covering her ears because of the fights. One day, she went to a music store. She put on some headphones and listened to a song from a band called Sad Machine. I was going to play the song for you all, however, I couldn't find it. I was also going to just play the scene with it in there, but I couldn't find that either. But I digress. Misumi really hit it off when she listened to that song. Quote, "I had music in a world where I thought I had nothing." She got a part-time job and started saving up money. So she bought a guitar, and then she started going to records and gigs. Things really seemed like they were going to be great for her in that moment in time. Then, one day, when her parents were having a fight, her father threw a bottle, and the bottle ended up hitting Misumi in the head. That bottle gave her permanent brain damage, and she wasn't able to move or talk. She was now in a hospital bed, and that's where she would stay for the rest of her life. In the end, these two characters both overcame their regrets and struggles, and moved on from purgatory. Yuri was the leader of the Afterlife Battlefront, and eventually accepted her past and moved on. And while Misumi was getting cornered at one of her shows, the teachers were taking her guitar away. She played her new song with all her heart, and finally got to experience the joy of what it would have felt like to really be on stage when she was alive. She was finally happy and accepted her death. The music in this anime conveys emotion very well. It uses the music in very interesting ways that I've never seen before. Someone could be just ready to fight someone else, and it would show that person in one scene, and it would put some fun upbeat music on them. Then it would cut away to someone else, and the music would just completely stop. And then it would cut back to them, and the music would go on again, and so on and so forth. One of my favorite examples of this is this video right here.
Okay, pass the tests up front.
I've got to pull through.
What's wrong with you?
Ma'am, you see, I look so scrawny when fully dressed. What do you think?
I can see that. Now sit down.
Yes, ma'am.
It really shows the atmosphere of how it is supposed to be a very fun kind of friends having fun with each other, but also trying to do what they have to do to survive. And it also really just shows something very funny in an otherwise mostly sad anime. And I believe that they do this very well. As you could obviously tell, the atmosphere is one that is quite sad for the most part. However, I believe that this show also really captures the fun setting that you have with your friends when you're in high school, and how much fun it is to just be with your friends and hang out. So I definitely think that Angel Beats was an anime that did this as well very, very well. In conclusion, I would argue that this is one of the best anime that I have ever seen, if not the best anime, period. I would also say that it's definitely the saddest anime that I've ever seen as well. I'm definitely not ashamed to say that I cried at almost every episode. And to be honest, after watching Angel Beats, I've kind of had to take a bit of a mental break from watching any other anime. So, 10 out of 10, I would recommend you all check it out. Hey, speaking of checking things out, you guys should make sure to check out my channel, and also make sure you're subscribed and you don't miss any future updates. I definitely plan on making more videos like this one, so don't forget to hit that bell notification and make sure you don't miss out. The next video like this that I may make is one on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, possibly part 1 and 2, and then work up from there. Please make sure that you like this video too, so it lets me know that you like this kind of content, so I can make sure I give you the best content that I can. See ya.